KaseyTron speaks out H3 lawsuit. Speaks out H3 lawsuit. Does that make sense? Asmongold xQc react. So I saw Asmongold's reaction, and I think it's totally within its right. Because if you know how this person carried herself, saying some debaucherous stuff about the deceased, it is just, she doesn't deserve necessarily everything that she's getting. I don't like saying that, but you're not really gonna care as much when you kind of find out the character what she kind of did. So subscribe to the channel, like the video. That's what you can do. You can share the video too. You can tell your friends about me. You can, whatever it is, just follow me here. You can add, you can sub, whatever. Let's jump into the video.
Under severe financial and mental strain due to a copyright infringement lawsuit filed by Klein in June 2025, in which he accuses her and 2 other streamers of re-uploading his content nuke videos as reaction content without enough added commentary. In response, KaseyTron launched a GoFundMe with a goal of $250,000 to cover her legal costs. She recently released a video and statement describing how the lawsuit has put immense pressure, not just on her finances, but also on her family's well-being in the following clip.
In September, I made a settlement offer to Ethan for $17,500. This offer was publicly revealed by Ethan to his Instagram followers. My mother, father, and sister all struggle with disability and housing instability. They are my family and they depend on me. Just this month, like many other low-income Americans, my mother and disabled sister had their food stamps taken away. Under the current political climate, the future of funding for other assistance.
I gotta jump in right away and just call the freaking bullshit. This smells worse than the fart that I just did with muting the mic, guys. That's what I just did. Yeah, I had to. For one, when someone has to read a script about something they need to be genuine about, I always double check that. You gotta check that, bro. Genuineness comes from the spirit, comes from the soul, it comes off the rip like you freestyling. In what world are you writing down something for you to feel bad? It just shows the disingenuousness, 1. 2, if you knew your family were to be this vulnerable and you needed money like this, why would you do all that you did, egging on Ethan, joining in the hate wagon for clicks and for validation from randoms online? That's 2. 3, when you find out what she has said about Asmongold's deceased parents, rest their souls, I do not feel bad for her. I'm not wishing anything on her. I don't feel bad for her. And when you find out why Ethan's tripling down and making sure that she gets sued to the ground, it's because, from my understanding, she caused some of her employees, his employees, to quit due to high stress. Do you know what that means? That means she would have had to have dug so deep into just attacking these individuals to the point in which they felt like they didn't feel comfortable working for him. So he decided, yeah, I'm going to take this all the way. Because some people need to learn from the experience, not from forgiveness, because she is not someone that's forgiving. Look at her face. I saw this clip and heard what she did. I don't like this person. She's on my Ms. list. I call her the Ms. list. Just genuine, low-grade human beings that don't care about other people. They're so innately selfish, they will damage a litany of people and then go crying after they threw all those stones, and they're not a glass house. There's no house. There's just an empty field and they're throwing stones. No, whatever happens to you might be too good. Might be too good.
This is uncertain. I cannot afford to fail them. I simply want this nightmare to be over so that I can go back to providing my family with my full support. Ethan Klein is suing me for $150,000, which is the maximum damages for malicious copyright infringement. I believe it is highly unlikely that a court would find me liable for copyright infringement at all, and certainly not malicious copyright infringement. My offer was tied to the maximum damages for normal copyright infringement, which has a maximum damage of $30,000. Considering it is unlikely there are any damages at all that I could have caused, even if I am found liable for copyright infringement, my offer of $17,500 felt very generous. For me, that is a lot of money, and it would have come directly from my own pocket. If we are unable to reach a settlement soon, this could stretch all the way to December of next year and cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars in lawyers' fees through the end of the trial. To be clear, I don't make anywhere near this kind of money. Like most Americans, I live paycheck to paycheck.
After KaseyTron speaks out on stream, KaseyTron's lawsuit with Ethan Klein had already shaken the community, but things escalated dramatically when she released an emotional video explaining the pressure she was under. The moment KaseyTron's video hit social media, creators and commentators rushed to react, but Asmongold's response carried a weight others didn't. He had a long, bitter history with her and shared his take on matter in the following.
Then why would you put them at risk by saying that you're committing copyright infringement on your stream? Why would you put them at risk? If you know that they depend on you and you are trying to like help these people, why would you do that? Does it make sense? Don't ever believe any of this bullshit. She is the nastiest person ever. She's so obnoxious. She has no problem bringing up my dead mother, weaponizing her audience against people, spreading lies against people. Nah, you get what you deserve. You do. Like, you could have just come out and apologized and said, you know what? I was wrong. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done this. But instead of that, you said that he was working with, like, I don't know if she said that she was working with Israel, but you implied this as well. At least I think you did. And you've gone out and said all this other negative stuff about Ethan. You brought up his kids. You've brought up other people's kids. Like, you've got really, I mean, this is the thing, is a person like this has no boundaries. You have no boundaries for what you are willing to or not willing to, you know, bring up in terms of like weaponizing against a person.
Asmongold wasn't finished. He said he would cover every second of the lawsuit from here on out. Every update, every filing, every misstep. He said he wasn't going to let it go. He claimed he hoped Ethan Klein showed zero mercy, emphasizing that this was one situation where he would not back down, not overlook, and not extend any kindness. I find CaseyTron and her sister whining about being impoverished insufferable because they don't help themselves. Yeah, disabilities can make people holding a job difficult, but they also aren't smart with the money they get. And people who are disabled often work with the help of reasonable accommodation. Also, CaseyTron's weed isn't medicinal. Medical practitioners discourage use of smokables due to the damage it can do to the lungs. This dumbass woman treats literally everyone like dirt for years since Twitch started, and finally gets what she deserves. People fell into depression cause of her dumbass, and she begs for mercy now and stupid people fall for it. I'm glad there's people like Asmon and more who aren't dumb. The fact that she is trying to mention her father and mother in attempt to get some sympathy. Fellow streamer xQc also reacted to CaseyTron sharing no sympathy for CaseyTron after her latest Ethan Klein lawsuit statement in the following clip.
September, I made a settlement offer to Ethan for $17,500. This offer was
yo, I don't want to be cruel. I don't want to be cruel to this person, but double down. When I was getting sued with no information, she just doubled down and tripled down, saying the most outrageous lies about me, being a weirdo about it. I don't care. Now you're getting sued. We do not care. We don't give a single. I don't care what you guys say about this. You.
Just this.
Not a fault of my own. I'm innately aware of a.
See, it's like no one's necessarily saying that they want this stuff to happen to them, right? It's just people won't care. People won't feel bad for you. People won't usually throw out their feelings, if that makes any sense, when you have done the antithesis of that. Even worse, there's a lot of people that will wish bad things on you if you're not a good person. Miskiff, for instance, he could come out crying and act like he's sorry about things, right? It probably won't do any justice because they've seen too much bad. He's double, triple, quadruple. What I think he's like whatever the sixth topple down on his bullshit. It's going to get to the point where if there is a redemption, not many people are going to care. Not many people. Because it's going to come off like he's just doing it because he wants sympathy, not because he cares, not because he changed. It's because the pressure is too hard. That's her right now. I don't know enough about her, but I know around the Klein moment with Hassan and that other chick and that Frogan chick and all that, they all attacked Ethan. I get it. There's things going on in a certain country and he's a part of a certain religious group. Bro, Ethan and like Aiden, those guys, I've never pointed them towards that because they seem like secular Jews. They really come off as secular Jews. They don't care about that stuff. And if you have seen him talk in defense of it, I've noticed it happened after him just being attacked and his people being attacked and his family being attacked for being Jewish. So at that point, you have to pick a side. But he is such a secular Jew from what I've seen. Even with his wife being Sabra, as whatever they will call it, right? And her being in the army and all that stuff. And I don't know if that's a derogatory term. I hope it's not. I think it just means someone who is Israeli Jewish but born in Israel. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? Even that they're American. They're into like they're not like that. So the fact that you attack these individuals is just crazy. She double tripled down in her attitude, and now she's facing it. So not many people are gonna feel bad. Not.
Majority of her old lore. Couldn't happen to a worse person. She's the American female version of those righty, lefty accounts that just got unmasked as rage-baiting blue checkmark Indians cosplaying as Americans. She's a bad person. She infringed on H3 copyright. These people live in this bubble where they think they can treat people like crap and have no repercussion. Her fault that she put herself and her family in this situation. This is what happens to people that never take personal responsibility. It's incredible how these 3 women getting sued always pick the wrong choices, which leads to their current predicament, and now blame other people for their wrongdoing. I would say put the fries in the bag, but I don't think that will be significant to pay for legal fees. In other news, on the 24th of November 2025, during one of his IRL Twitch streams, FaZe Lacey spotted a woman roaming around his neighborhood carrying a blue suitcase and a couple of bags. This was not the first time she'd appeared.
So we're not going to get into this one, obviously. We're just going to kind of end it there. Let me know what you think. Do you feel bad for her? I kind of still do feel bad for her because it's just... She didn't attack me or anything like that. I'm just seeing someone who is at their wit's end. Lawsuits are disgusting, guys. They really are. I think it's a little far for Ethan to go this ham, to go to the maximum amount for copyright, because even if he's within his right, we also do need to remember we're YouTubers, or at least if you are a content creator, you should not have to fear someone maliciously using the copyright, even if it's legitimate. This is like a legitimate, malicious way to attack this girl. Can we agree with that? Is he in his right? Maybe, probably. But does that make it right? Not fully. You know, $30,000. Ask for that lower end maximum. That's still going to hit her a bit. But what I will say though is she may come off like those type of individuals that if you did lower it for her and she pays it off, she's probably lying. She probably has more money like sitting around. Maybe she's lying about the food stamp situation too. Then she's going to go right back down to her bullshit. Sometimes a really hard lesson humbles you. I myself had to learn for these situations. I'm not a bad person. It's just made a dumb mistake. Had to pay for it. Humbled me as a human being. Right? My own lesson, my own testament. So she needs to learn from this. You know, when you're going off thinking you're holier than thou, or just mighty, no one can stop me. My fan base got me. Well, I'll put up the GoFundMe and see if these individuals that drove you to going mad and attacking these other people for some views will help you pay for this lawsuit. They should. They're apparently the ones that fueled your hate to attack this guy for just what reason? From what these comments saying, I don't know enough. Seems like just a nasty person who just made content on being a bitch. Smoking, getting high on stream. That's what I've seen. Just getting high. Devil's lettuce. And she did some devilish stuff. Now the devil's asking for the payment, and you don't want to pay it. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Done cooking on this one, guys.